Okay, so today we're going to be learning about how to find the distance between 2 points and then the midpoint between 2 points. Okay, this is used a lot when we are going to be doing a Pythagorean theorem tomorrow, as well as finding the distance between any 2 points. And this has a lot of real-world applications, like you can find the distance from here to the beach, or from here to like a satellite, using this information. So our distance formula is square root of x of 2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. This is used to find the distance between or the length of a line segment. So this is, it doesn't matter which value is x1 and x2, only thing that matters is that they match the ones that are over here. Okay, so they're going to be giving you an ordered pair. Midpoint, again, is the point which is in between the 2 points. Okay, it's used to find the middle of a point of a line segment. This is where we're going to be doing x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Again, here the order doesn't matter at all because we're adding. Okay, like 3 plus 2 is 5 and 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay. Okay. So find the distance in midpoint of the ordered pair 1, 4 and -2, 3. So we're going to use our distance formula. So distance equals the square root. Okay, so we're going to take x2. Okay, so that's going to be -2. Then we're going to subtract x1, which is 1. And then we're going to square it. We're going to add y2, 3, minus 4, y1 squared. Okay? Then we're just going to use our order of operations to solve. So we're going to do parentheses first. -2 minus 1 is -3, and that's going to be squared. And 3 minus 4 is -1. That's going to be squared. So then what is -3 squared? I'm sorry? Should be positive 9. And 1 squared is, -1 squared is positive 1. And so that equals the square root of 10. If it was looking for the exact answer, we would have the square root of 10. But however, if I was telling you that the distance from Ormond Beach Middle School to my house is the square root of 10, you'd look at me like I have 3 eyes. Like, what does that mean? So we would actually square root this, okay? And we would get 3.16. So that makes more sense. That it would be 3.16 miles. However, if it was looking for the exact answer, we would give them the square root of 10. Okay, midpoint. To find midpoint, we're going to take our 2 x values, add them together, and our 2 y values and add them together, and then divide by 2. So we're going to have 1 plus -2 divided by 2, and 4 plus 3 divided by 2. So I'm going to have -1 over 2 and 7 over 2. These cannot reduce, so this is my answer. If they could reduce, then we would reduce them. If this was a line segment versus a set of ordered pairs, there would only be x values. So you'd only do this with the x values. Okay? Because on a number line, there's not y values, there's only x values. Alright, let's try the next one. So find the distance and midpoint of the ordered pair -5, 3 and -3, 3. So we're going to have our distance equals the square root of, and we're going to have x2, so it's -3, minus x1, -5, all squared, plus y2, -3, minus 3y1, all squared. All right, so I'm going to have d equals, okay, and what is -3 minus -5? So -3 plus 5. What?
2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2. That would be 2 squared. All right, negative 3 minus 3, negative 6 squared. And that will give me 4 and 36, which is 40. Yes, that's going to be it when we get to there. But if it was looking for the exact answer, we can break apart 40. Yeah, into 4 and 10. And the square root of 4 is 2. So 2 square root of 10. Yes, if it was looking for the approximate answer, it would be 6.32. However, if it's looking for the exact answer, you want 2 square root of 10. Okay, so you do want to break it apart if it's looking for the exact answer. If it's not looking for the exact answer, like it's a real world problem, then you can just square root 40. And midpoint. So for midpoint, we take negative 5, and I'm going to add negative 3, and we're going to divide that by 2. And 3 plus negative 3, and we're going to divide that by 2. So I'm going to get negative 8 over 2 and 0 over 2. And what is negative 8 divided by 2? Negative 4. And 0 divided by 2 is 0. So my ordered pair is 4, 0. So that's finding distance and midpoint when you have 2 points. Sometimes you do not have both points. You have the midpoint and a point, and you need to find the other point. So we're going to use our midpoint formula to find the point. So if we take our midpoint formula and we can break it apart. So our midpoint formula, to find our midpoint of our x, we would take x1 plus x2 and we divide it by 2. And that gives me my x midpoint. And then we take our y1 plus our y2 and we divide by 2. And that gives me my y midpoint, right? That's what we did earlier. I'm breaking it apart, okay? So knowing that, if we're given the midpoint, like for example here it says the midpoint of segment AB is negative 2, 4, and point A is located at 1, 3, I can substitute the information that I know into these two formulas and find that point, okay? So I'm just going to assume that x1 is 1. I don't know x2, so I'm going to leave it as x, and it's divided by 2. And it equals my midpoint x, negative 2. Okay, and then my y is 3, plus I don't know my other y, we're going to divide it by 2, and it's going to equal 4. And then we're just going to solve these equations for the variables. Right? So in order to get rid of my fraction, I have to multiply by 2, both sides. So I'm going to get 1 plus x equals negative 4. We're going to subtract 1. X is going to equal negative 5. Do the same thing over here. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of my fraction. So I'll get 3 plus y equals 8. We would subtract 3. Y would equal 5. So my ordered pair would be negative 5, 5. So we're going to apply that same logic to the next one. We're going to use our midpoint formula to find the missing point. So we're going to take my x value, so it would be negative 1. We're going to add our missing x value. We're going to divide it by 2. And that's going to give me my equal to my midpoint x, 6. And then same thing with y. Negative 3 plus y divided by 2 equals 0. Now we're just going to solve for x and y. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2 to get rid of my fraction. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm gonna get -1 plus x equals 12. And then we would add 1. So x would equal 13. We'll do the same thing when we're solving for y. We're gonna multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of our fraction. So we get -3 plus y equals 0. We'll add 3, and y would equal 3. So my ordered pair would be 13, 3.